Hi everyone, welcome back to the Bolt Action Goods YouTube channel. Today I'm going to talk to you about my Tula Pink English paper piecing project. That's a lot of P's and a little bit of a tongue twister. I started English paper piecing a couple years ago just as a, hey, I need to learn something new. Really, it was just a fun way to take sewing with me as I traveled instead of lugging my machine around everywhere I went. I enjoy English paper piecing because it forces me to slow down and enjoy every single stitch. English paper piecing is a process of hand sewing little hexagons together. This project simply began as I have a lot of Tula fabrics in my stash that I really enjoy. Why don't I go ahead and take the time and really make an heirloom quilt that will be enjoyed for generations? Over time, this quilt evolved from, I just want a few Tula fabrics in it just to, make it maybe a small throw that I hand quilt, to Tula announcing her 50th fabric line and my mind turning that into, this is your challenge, you have to include all 50 fabric lines in this one quilt. And yes, if you are a quilter or you know a quilter, you know that we're a little bit crazy about our fabrics. And when we set a goal, we're gonna make it happen. And because I challenged myself to include all 50 fabric lines that Tula has designed, I had to go kind of jump in a time machine and track down some people that had saved some of those lines back before I even was a quilter. I asked this lady if she by chance had any Neptune, and she was so awesome. She had 2 different fabrics from that line to offer me, and I picked this one. So EPP is also very fun because it allows you to fussy cut fabrics. Yes, you can do it in traditional piecing methods, however, it's not nearly as common. What I've really enjoyed is really working one-on-one with every Tula fabric and getting to show off its best qualities. And it's also been really fun to see how Tula uses her old lines to inspire new ones. So for example, here's the original Parisville. So you can see these ladies with beautiful hair that look like ships sailing at sea. Like, how cool is that? I think this lady, she's got a squirrel in her hair. Like, can we bring that back? So it's really hard to track down some of these original Tula fabrics. However, it's been a fun challenge for me. And then you can also enjoy her more like newer lines that kind of echo back. So this is Parisville Deja Vu. And so you can kind of see she's got that same ship head hair. I call them ship heads. It's kind of a little bit inappropriate, a little bit funny. I don't know. Maybe we can make it a thing. Ship heads. So I've really enjoyed kind of seeing how she echoes back to old lines and then uses that as inspiration. And it amazes me that 50 different lines of fabric that she's all designed all coordinate. They all complement one another. They're all beautiful together. Now I have some extra fabric set aside from a variety of lines that I'm going to use to include and incorporate Full Moon Forest. I am absolutely itching for it to be released. And I'm really pleased to say that I currently have all 49 lines that are currently in print or have been printed in the past included in this quilt or set aside to be able to mix in with Full Moon Forest 2 when it launches later this month. So yes, I'm a little crazy, but aren't we all? Here's a little bit of my stack. So yes, these are all hand sewn hexagons. Here's a couple of my favorites. Right now that stack includes 103. My goal is to make 120 total. And I absolutely love how fun it is just to show off those fabrics, fussy cut them, make sure they show up exactly how I want. Like, how fun is this little elephant? Making sure his little body connects between 2 hexagons. So yes, I'm going to make 120 of those little hexagons. And then I'm going to outline them with this fabric. It's also Tula. And it really just makes the colors pop. And then from there, what I'm going to do is I want to make sure this faces the right direction so you all can get the full illusion. I'm going to sew them side by side and turn it into a quilt. And right now I'm still debating on if I want it to be hand quilted, like every single little hexagon, or allow like a long armor to just do a simple pantograph that's maybe really geometric over it. And now that I really realize that I want this done for the quilt show at the end of October, I'm leaning more towards having it long armed. So yes, I spent over $80 for this one fat quarter. And if I had to do it again to be able to make sure that I had all 50 lines included, I'd do it again. Thanks again for tuning in, and I hope to share more about English paper piecing and this project as it progresses.